let's talk about mask holes. I did not know that mask holes still
Oh my
existed,
god,
but in fact they do.
you need to go to Austin, Texas, and
Really?
I will show you all the mask holes. Yeah,
So, okay, and I
they
have
exist.
mixed feelings about masks because if you're a person out in the world today wearing a mask, I immediately judge, and I don't want to be that person. Like, I want to believe the best in people such that if you're a person who is ill and you're trying to prevent your germs from getting on others, like, I appreciate you. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I
but
do.
but did we used to do that?
We never used to do that.
That's the thing. Like, I mean, if you have a terminal disease or if you have, if you're immunosuppressed in some way, I feel like 4.5 years ago, you didn't walk around with a mask,
Right.
you know? But
It just never
now
was a thing.
right. But now I feel like people are just overly sensitive to that and they do that. Some do. And then some
Yeah.
are just mask holes. Some just feel like
Right.
they are so hypersensitive and they're freaked out and they're paranoid and they're mentally deranged that they wear masks all the time.
And there's some people who are still doing it to virtue signal like you, Bernie, because we
Why?
remember him from the State of the
But
Union,
why?
where he was talking, like, literally in faces of people, directly in their faces, and then as soon as he stopped talking to listen to a speech, then he puts it on, like,
What,
that
that
made
doesn't help?
no sense.
That doesn't help? Yeah.
Makes no sense, makes no
Yeah.
sense. So and that's the thing is that because of COVID hysteria, I now judge immediately. My instant gut instinct is to judge and to just be like looking at disdain with anybody who wears a mask because I shouldn't be that way. I should assume the best in people, but I don't because of how we all were treated and how like we were how everything went during
Yeah,
COVID.
but the mask holes are judging you.
That's probably true
And they're
for not
judging
wearing
me
one.
for not wearing one, and they're judging our children. They're judging the way that we parent our children. They're judging all of us for not masking up. I went into a doctor's office last week. I had an endocrinology appointment, and my doctor, who has been practicing medicine for 37 years, who I won't go back to after last time, she walked in with a mask on. She's fine. She doesn't have a cold or anything like that. She just had a mask on, which I thought was kind of weird. I don't know why. Like, why are some doctors doing it still when I feel like they know better? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because again, 4.5 years ago, they didn't do that. They didn't do it. So
Right.
it's like our world is just different. Like our whole everything that we know is we know that they didn't help. So and you think doctors of all people and nurses and people in the medical field would know that that was the case, but they still I still see like it's not all doctors. I still see just like a couple
Yeah, there's
doctors here and
pockets of
there,
doctors.
pockets of doctors, yeah, that
Mhm.
will wear them and I'm like, "But why? Why are
Well,
you
and,
doing
like,
that?"
wasn't Jerome Adams, the guy from Indiana, wasn't he Trump's, Surgeon General? That
Uh-huh.
was
Yeah,
that his
I
role? I
think
think he was
so.
Surgeon
Yeah. Uh-huh.
General. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, he is all over Twitter, like, right now. He recently took a flight, and he masks up constantly, and so he was
Really?
saying yeah, he posted a picture, like, a selfie of him on a flight, fully masked, and he said, "Interesting thing just happened." I'm paraphrasing, obviously. "I put my mask on this flight, and I noticed people noticing me do that and then immediately pulling out their own masks and also putting them on. So it was almost like I made them feel like it's okay to not be the only one wearing a mask. So maybe more people would wear them. Like if somebody just makes that first move, a whole bunch of people responded to him and they were like, there's no way that happened. Like, I don't even believe you. Um,
Right.
because he's been insane about masks, like from Trump on, from his time as Surgeon General to today. And I know his wife is very ill, and I think that plays into his thinking on this. But it's crazy to me how so many studies have now come out that say this was a pointless exercise. This did not
Mhm.
change anything. And
Yeah,
I'm really resentful of the fact that our kids were forced to mask up. I'm like,
totally.
that's unforgivable to me
In
even
in
still to
rid
this day.
in ridiculous ways. Like my kid was forced to wear a mask in hallways, walking up and down
Right.
hallways of school, and then she'd go to her classroom with the same kids she was walking in the halls with, get to her classroom, and she could take off her mask sitting at her desk with those same kids. I'm sorry, WTF. It's ridiculous. It was all
It's
virtue
insane.
signaling. It was stupid and it made no sense, and there was no scientific basis on that. Nothing.
Right.
It was
Right.
dumb.
And so, the whole reason that we're bringing this up is because there was a video that started circulating around socials a few days ago of some woman who literally lives across the country from the people she's talking about. I think they're family members even.
Yeah.
And she found out that these people don't wear masks on the regular and is basically cutting off interaction with them. She doesn't have physical interaction with them because they live miles apart, but she's cutting off any like phone conversations or computer conversations because she's this psychotic. I would not have believed this was real. I would have said, this is probably a skit if I had first seen it. But then she doubled down after all of the reaction. So here's the first video.
A few weeks ago, I found out that the person that I love most in this world is no longer masking. Their entire family, including 4 small children, have stopped masking.
I would hope so.
And yesterday I texted her and I said, hey, I can't get past the fact that you all are no longer masking. Like, with everything that's happening in the world right now, with COVID, with RSV, with measles, with everything that's coming back, not masking is wild behavior to me. Like, community care is important to me. I need to know that the people in my life care about their health and the health of the people around them. To which I received a 3.5-page dissertation justifying their behavior, including classics such as, we're not breaking any rules. We're doing way better than everyone else around us. We don't go anywhere if we feel sick. My personal favorite was paraphrased, you couldn't possibly understand because you don't have kids.
All these things are true.
Yeah.
It's
every single one.
illogical to expect children to continue masking and stay in lockdown.
Also true.
So I responded and I said, as I already stated, it's your choice to make. I'm sure you will do everything you can to keep your family safe. The best thing for me right now is to take a step away from this relationship.
What a psycho, man.
I love you all, but I have to take care of myself first and foremost. I hope you understand.
Good Lord.
And she said, sure, I can't force you to stay. And I'm telling you this because I know I'm not the only one out here who is dealing with, struggling with people in their lives that they care about very much that are no longer taking mitigation efforts.
My God.
I can't have people in my life that make me feel unsafe. And they live on the other coast. But that's not the point. The point is, if I had the option to be around them right now, I couldn't because I wouldn't feel safe.
Oh my God.
And that means something to me.
Oh my God. I live on the other coast,
Wow.
but their germs could travel. They could fly from the other coast and hit me.
If
I
she
mean-
ever goes outside ever, she's already negated everything she just said. Like if
Right.
she's entering the world ever, she's engaging with people all the time, masked or not. And she can't avoid that because thankfully, I think most people are over the nonsense and they're only masking if they are actually sick and not trying to cough on other people. I'm trying to give people the benefit of the doubt.
I hope that chick never has kids.
My God, right?
Because there is some lunacy happening. Or at least I hope she gets over the crazy that she's experiencing now before she decides to have children. Because damn,
Yeah.
that's some crazy happening right there. But I see it. I see it like in the Austin area, around the Austin area. I don't see it so much around where I live because, I live in a normal place. but if I go to Austin or whatever, because we visited there, with the kids, and there you will see like moms with their kids masked, and you're like, what? Because we do swim
Awful.
meets and stuff there. And, like, you'll see the occasional mom with their kid and at a swim meet, you'll see, like, a kid suited up in a swimsuit with a mask on, and then
Oh
they'll
my
take the
god.
mask off to swim, and then they'll put the mask back on. You're like, "It is 2024. Like, nobody else in here is you're fine. You're
Oh my
fine." And I'm
god.
sorry for your mom because dang, I mean, I feel sorry for kids who are raised in environments like
Yeah.
that because it's just this extreme germophobia where it's not serving them well. Those kids, I feel sorry for them. I feel sorry for the parents. Like that something is in their brain that's making them so afraid of the world.
Mhm.
It's yeah, Bubble Boy is
It's
right.
crazy.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, she doubled down 'cause, the reaction was mostly like ours, like, "This is batshit," right? Like, "You're
Mhm.
full on crazy," and so she released a second video, and I think she, she definitely feels like she's in the right on this. She is doubling down.
Papa Bear said if that post wasn't an act, I advise you consider why so many people are saying what they're saying from a non-defensive standpoint. These people in my comments, these very same people who are also no longer participating in community care, who overwhelmingly removed their masks the moment the government said COVID's over.
Oh my
These
god.
people who are screaming at me about how I need to get the fuck over it because COVID is over. It's nothing more than a cold. No one masks anymore. Follow the science. Masks don't even work. These people who are ripe with misinformation and cognitive dissonance and are screaming at me about how I am a narcissist because I care about my health and the health of the people around me. And I believe that we all should, because I believe that we should actively try not only to not harm the people around us, but to enrich the lives of the people in our community. And because I decided to remove myself from a relationship with a person who was no longer living that. These people who, because they disagree with me about masking, decided to attack me as a person, my intelligence, my sanity, my appearance, because they had no other argument. These people who are willing to pick up COVID cases like Pokemon because they're healthy and it can't hurt them. It's just a cold. And fuck everyone else. Those people, I'm so good.
Okay. Well, if you're good, all right.
Enjoy the nobody being around you then.
Right.
Congrats.
Enjoy
I mean,
exactly.
I don't know
Enjoy
what to
being
tell you.
alone and your 15th booster.
Right.
Have
You're
fun with
still
that.
probably gonna get it. Just FYI.
She'll probably get it more than most people with
Yeah.
being alone and her 15th booster, because that's how that works.
You know she has a cat box, like a
Oh,
backpack.
yeah. She does. She has a cat backpack and a box. Litter box, whatever.
C. Douglas, thank you. C. Douglas says no longer true thanks to Hunter. I don't know what you were
I don't
talking
know
about. That
what
was
you
like a half an hour
meant. I
ago.
know. I don't know what that
Sorry.
is. Gosh, if we don't catch it right away. Sorry.
Thompson Canine Services, thank you. Thompson Canine Services says we had our primary in Ohio yesterday, and I worked at the polls, and all the mask wearers were Democrats. They had to determine which party they were voting in.
It's you kinda know. You know when you see them. You
I
know what
mean,
I
that's
mean?
my initial judgment, right? And then I do
Totally.
feel like somewhat bad about
Y
having that initial
I
judgment.
don't feel the least bit bad. I don't feel bad one bit. I know I don't. I think that's the difference between you and me, is that I know exactly who I'm dealing with, and I don't feel bad about it.
But you felt bad about criticizing Christine Blasey Ford, and I don't think you should feel bad about that at all.
Did I feel bad about that?
Well, you were like, "I need to be nice. I've gotta be nice. I shouldn't say mean
No,
things."
I was guarding my language because I didn't wanna offend
Oh.
people here. That's what I was I don't care about her. I care about the people in our audience, and I don't wanna offend people here because I think really mean things when I see her face. That's the problem, and I don't wanna offend people here. I'm just trying you know what I mean?
You were
And
putting on a little bit of a filter.
it's
Just
kinda
a
like
little
it's like I
filter.
love Jesus, but I say bad things sometimes. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I have to watch myself.